Oh, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Jay Burrows. I am the author of Born, the Truth, the Whole Truth, and Nothing But the Truth. Today, we're going to talk about being alone. I want to read a scripture from the King James Version, book of Hebrews, verse 13 and 5. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he hath said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. I used to wonder, how is that possible? God, because we have so many people in this world, and God is mindful of everybody, whether saved or unsaved. He is mindful of all of us. He knows what we are going through, what we're doing. And in my finite way of thinking, I didn't understand exactly how is it that you will always be with me throughout whatever I'm going through. And what I came to realize is during a sermon, a pastor actually answered the question for me. And what I realized was, if you are led by the Spirit of God, there is no way that He will leave you. You can't lead someone and leave them alone. You have to be with them all the time if you're leading them. And that's why He's always saying to us to be led by the Spirit. It is not that God ever leaves us, because He doesn't. It's us that stops following Him. We tend to check out and go our own way. Sometimes we have a habit of saying, I know better. We're not literally saying that, but in our actions is showing that we're saying that I know better than you, so I'm going to go my own way. And we know as believers that God is a gentle God. He's not going to force you. I'll always just be here for you, but I'm not going to force you to love me, to choose me. God never wanted to force us. He gave us free will to choose at our own will. Since I've chosen God, my life has been much better than what it once was. When I was out in the world doing my own thing, it was chaotic, it was very hectic, had a lot of fears, a lot of issues, a lot of problems. Now, all my problems and issues are not gone. Now, I'm not going to say that, the snap of a finger, everything became glorious and it's peaceful and it's the most blissful place in the world. No. I still live on this earth, I still live in this flesh, and I still have to deal with a lot of stuff. The problem is when I'm dealing with it, God has a specific way of me handling things. But unfortunately, as a man, I try to handle things on my own. And He allows me, go ahead, you can try it your way and see how far that gets you. And usually it doesn't get me very far. I will sooner or later fall on my face, or I put a Band-Aid on a situation where He could have cured it. My solution is always temporary, where His are absolute. So I had to understand His way of thinking about things. And once I got accustomed and in tune to His way of thinking about things, life became more smooth sailing. But every now and again, instead of letting Jesus take the wheel, I decide I want to grab it. I want to drive and go my own way. At times, it's just this flesh, and it's a thing where we all have habits, and we want to be in control of things, and we call on the Lord when things get really bad. But I've learned to not only call on Him when things are getting bad, but before these huge decisions in my life, trust Him enough to say, Lord, what do you want me to do? What is your will for the situation? I had to learn to trust Him. It took a situation that I went through with my ex-wife that I actually gained a lot of trust with the Lord. I was broken, I was hurt, and all I kept hearing from the Lord every time I prayed, the same thing. No matter what I prayed and what I was asking, He kept telling me the same thing. Trust me. So finally, I started to trust Him. And the more I trust Him, the closer I got. And it's like being in a relationship with your best friend. You've gone through some things. That's why they're your best friend. because you've gone through some things. You've been through ups and downs. You've been through heartache. You've been through hurt. You've been through pain. It's a lot that we go through. But this is how friendships are formed. Friendships are not just formed through all good times. There has to be some bad, because you need to know where people are with you before you can call them your friends. If they're really a friend of yours, are they going to be there through the bad times? You can have knockdown, drag out arguments with your friends, and you may not be friends for a couple of days or some hours or so, but it all seems to go away at some point in time, and you're right back to what you were from the very beginning. This is true friendship. And this is how our relationship should be with the Lord, with the Most High. No matter what you go through, He's always there for you. He's always there, the counsel that you need, the helping hand that you need, just the shoulder to lean on, the comfort that you need. When you didn't have, like for me, instance, I knew who my father was, but he was absent in my life. And God came in and filled that void for me, taught me how to be a man, how to walk in authority, how to do certain things, how to humble myself under other men to learn from them. There's a certain kind of way you learn different things from another man. And it takes humility to be able to do that. When I was younger, I was a rebel. I didn't want to conform to any authority. I didn't want to humble myself to anybody's authority at all. And it showed how much I did not know. And I learned a lot of lessons the hard way when I could have learned them from other people's mistakes. They were willing to teach me and tell me, listen, I've made these mistakes in life. You don't have to. I'm going to show you how to avoid those pitfalls that are coming up in the road that you're headed down. But I was a hard-headed kid, so I went through a lot of stuff where I could have been avoided, but it wasn't avoided. And I thank God for it, though, because these are lessons learned, and I pass them on to my children, and I understand that realm and that space of thinking, which allows me to talk to young men who are in that same headspace, because I was once them. So I know what it feels like. I speak from an experience, and experiences that I've had that the Lord has brought me through. And there's been many instances and situations that He has brought me through where I'm grateful, very grateful. And I know it wasn't by my own works or anything that I've done that I made it through. It is only by His grace and His mercy that I made it through. And this is even before I got saved. Now that I've been saved, there's still, it's not as hard per se, because now I have an understanding of, okay, you know what, things are getting rough, rocky. God's trying to show me something. Let me go counsel. I need to pray. I need to figure out what's going on, because a lot of stuff is happening back to back, and I need to sort these things out. And I know in my own finite way of thinking, I can't get it right. So there is someone higher than me that I need to consult with to find out, where is it that He wants me to be? Where is it that He wants me to go to? What is it that He's trying to show me? Because God is very well known for boxing us all into corners to show us things. Sometimes it's just a lesson that we need to be learning, not necessarily, a whole big thing. It's just a lesson that I need you to learn that's going to help you in your future. And God will put us in a corner to make us turn to Him. After all else fails, you tried it your way 1,001 times, and you've gotten up and fell down and gotten up and fell down, and it's like, you know what, I'm tired. And sometimes it takes that for us to surrender. I know I'm not the only hard-headed person in the world. I know a lot of people are and have been through these same things that I'm talking about. But the thing is, God never leaves you. He's always there to lead you, to guide you. And all He wants is for us to call upon Him. Involve Him. If we can involve Him in the small things, it's second nature to involve Him in something that's really big. A lot of us only want to involve him in the big decisions, but he wants to be involved in the intricate details. Like, I'm getting up today and I really don't have a plan. I got a couple of things on the agenda to do, but Lord, what do you want me to do today? What is your plan for the day? Sometimes you may be thinking I'm going somewhere else and he takes you in a whole different place. You're headed for one specific goal, but he gives you something totally different. Not that you won't accomplish that goal. Those things get done easily, but he wants you to be a certain place at a certain time because you may be the one person that can affect the life of another person. And I need you to be where I need you to be. It's like I'm a chess player, so you're putting pieces in position. And I see that that's how he uses us in life. Sometimes, you may run into someone that you may have never thought you'd be able to contact or get in touch with or talk to. And you're there at the right moment to say the right words. He gives you everything that you need to say. And you're talking to that specific person. And the thing is about it is you are the only one that can do it, that can affect their lives the way that it's needed to be affected to spark change in them. I've had it happen to me. I've been that person that has affected someone else's life because they knew who I was when I was in the world. And they see the change in me. And they're wondering, how did this happen? And then I get the opportunity to tell them about the mighty God and the gracious, most wonderful Lord that I serve. And for each and every person who is saved, that is the biggest thing that he's going to utilize you for. No matter whatever things you're doing, the messages you may be carrying other than that, but that right there, that's the biggest thing. And it's so joyful when you can change a person's life. You have people who will sit there and tell you, I was on the verge of giving up. I was going to just end it all. But you said something to me that resonated with me. Or just you being in my presence helped me get through. Sometimes that's all we need is a word of encouragement to get through. Sometimes we need a helping hand. Sometimes we just need a shoulder to lean on. Somebody to cry on, to release. And that's who he is. He never leaves us alone. And he knows exactly where we are. And he gives us many different things, plugging us in with people that we need to be plugged in with to advance us, to help us move forward, connecting us with the right people to release something that weighs so heavy on your heart. Sometimes it's extremely difficult to release things because you don't know who to trust. You want to deprogram, you want to let it go, but you don't have anyone that's trustworthy around you. And you may get someone that's a complete stranger that's been through what you've been through because God told them, listen, I need you to talk to him. I need you to go and minister to that person. I want you to go over here. God is not the God of chaos. There's no happenstance. There's no, this is coincidental. No, he's very purposeful. He's intentional. He's always been intentional and he does not fail. He does not fail. So my suggestion to everyone and my prayer for everyone is to remember that you serve a God that will never leave nor forsake you. He'll always be with you. He's just waiting to lead you. I can't lead you if you don't follow. And if I lead you and you follow, he'll never leave you. It's not him disconnecting from us. It's us disconnecting from him. So I suggest that we all get reconnected, plug back in, hold on to his unchanging hand. He does not change. He's always been the same from the beginning, now, and forever. Stay with him. Thank you again for tuning in. My name is Jay Burrows. I am the author of Porn, the Truth, the Whole Truth, and Nothing But the Truth. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one.